Manchester United have just beaten Galatasaray 5-2, a convincing turnaround from Man United, who went in 2-1 down at half-time. Started off brilliantly. As you can see from up there, Zlatan Ibrahimovic got a ridiculous goal just 3 minutes into his debut. But then Galatasaray came back into the game. Some poor defending on a set piece let them equalise, and then Bruma scored a cracking goal to make it 2-1. Going at half-time, we come in and we turn it around. And we win 5-2, a very, very convincing second half performance. But there's only one place we can start here today, Zlatan's debut. I mean, for him to have even tried that 3 minutes into his debut with his first shot is ridiculous. For him to have scored that 3 minutes into his debut is even more ridiculous. It goes to show the confidence and the arrogance and the self-belief that this man has. That is going to be so infectious in a team of youngsters. We've got Martial, Lingard, Memphis, Rashford. So many players in that team need somebody like Ibrahimovic to look up to. And you even saw it when Rashford had his brilliant run for Rooney's penalty, so make it 3-2, I think. You saw Zlatan's reaction on the sidelines. He just looked on. It was surprising because he hadn't seen it before. We've seen that from Rashford, but Zlatan hasn't. And just the partnerships that we can create this season, that was extremely exciting attacking football. And after 2 years of dull, let's be honest, dull, monotonous football, predictable football under Van Gaal, we showed today signs that that's not going to be the case. We played really with a real attacking intent. You know, whenever the ball could go forward, it went forward. It didn't go backwards and just stay there for no particular reason. It was played up and it was played excitingly through the lines, and it was very, very good. Somebody I didn't think had a very good first half at all was Wayne Rooney, and I suppose that doesn't come as too much of a surprise. We all know that Rooney takes a long time to get fit. He needs a lot of matches under his belt. And that first half, you saw how slow he was. But turned it around in that second half, got 2 goals, very well taken goal to make it 2-2, and a smartly taken penalty to put us in the lead. Let me know your comments in the comments below what you think about Rooney this season, because he is a player that needs regular game time to get the best out of him. But with the attacking options we've got right now, is that the best for United? Because would you start him up front? Would you start him at number 10 over Mkhitaryan? There's a lot of questions to be asked about Wayne Rooney this season. Somebody else who had a phenomenal performance was Antonio Valencia. He turned the screw and went back to the 2010 Tony that we all know and love. Got 3 assists. That's probably more than he got last season. But it wasn't just the fact that he got 3 assists. It was the manner of his crosses. Because since 2010 on his downward slope, he's always just spanked crosses across the box. He hasn't looked up to see where the players are. But his 3 assists today were measured crosses meant for a target. And he got that target. And he did extremely well. I'm going to give him 10 out of 10 on my player ratings because he showed me that 2010 Valencia that I thought I'd lost. Maybe I haven't. Maybe Mourinho could bring the best out of him. Well done, Tony. Got to talk about Marcus Rashford. For me, that was the highlight of the game, was his run that created the penalty that put Man United ahead, which Rooney converted. Rashford is such an exciting player. We don't have to say that anymore. We all know that. But I'm really intrigued to see how he plays and where he plays underneath Jose Mourinho, because maybe he's going to be used in a winger sort of position, which is what he actually played for the under-18s before he came in an injury crisis for Anthony Martial against, I've forgotten the name of the team now, Midtjylland. That's it. But he is naturally a winger. So technically he could play, say, Martial on the left wing, Rashford on the right wing, with Ibrahimovic up front. That could happen. And I'm not sure he's going to get so many minutes as a central striker this season, simply because of who we've got in the team now. I think Carrick, again, was excellent when he came on, was better than both Herrera and Schneiderlin. They were quite slow in that first half. Herrera particularly, poor marking on that first goal. And that first goal, yeah, was very disappointing because we conceded from a set piece. As good as our attack looks, you can see the weaknesses that we've got in defence. And as much as Paul Pogba is going to be that 4th signing that Jose Mourinho had talked about before the game, he said that we need that 4th signing, but I'd argue that we need a 5th signing. I think our defence still needs to be strengthened. Valencia played well, but I'm talking about a centre-back. Chris Smalling is injured at the moment. Prior to last year, injuries really did hamper him. And if we were to lose Smalling at any point for an injury this season, that would be bad news. Bailey, again, looked quite comfortable, was happy with how he played. But I do think we need another centre-back in this team. I think I asked you all this in the live reaction after the game against Dortmund, and my point still stands. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Man United sign a 4th player and a fifth player, that fifth player being another centre-back. But, I mean, overall, you've got to take a lot of positives away from that game. There was real exciting attacking football. 5 goals. You know, you can't be upset at 5 goals, can you? Ibrahimovic's debut, superb. Only got 45 minutes. That's all he needed to make his statement. Rashford was excellent when he came on. I thought Memphis showed some intent as well. Problem, there was no end product, but Memphis just needs to take some of Ibrahimovic's confidence, put it in there, and start showing the player who tore the Eredivisie apart, because this is his season to show himself. He's going to have some opportunities. I want him to take them. I want to see that Memphis that we signed, because the player that's playing for us right now is not that Memphis. Carrick was very good going forward from a deeper central midfield position, and so was Juan Mata. You know, I genuinely thought it was given. It was an absolute given that Juan Mata was going to leave Man United this summer. But Mourinho said there's space for him in the squad, and he scored a cracking goal, arguably the pick of the bunch. And he's going to have to take his chances this season. Something that I really liked that Mourinho said before kickoff in his interview with MUTV, he said, I can only choose 18 players in my squad. There's going to be a lot of frustrated players this season. But these players have to realise they're part of a marathon of what we're trying to achieve this season, and they cannot be frustrated because I need them in this squad. He's looking for a squad of around about 23 players, and that 18 on a match day means that some are going to get left out. And that was one of Fergie's best assets as a manager. You see that team of 98-99, when we had Keenan Scholes banned for the Champions League final, we had Nicky Butt to bring in. We had Jesper Blomqvist who came on. And then you see who came on. Solskjaer came on and kept us in it in that Liverpool game at Old Trafford in the FA Cup. And then you had the subs that we made. The subs were just as important as the starters under Fergie. And players need to realise that's going to be the case under Mourinho as well, because it's a squad game. You've got so many games across the season. You cannot rely on that starting 11. Now, Mourinho did actually, when he was the Chelsea manager, as always one of my criticisms of him, was he always used to play the same starting 11, in the fact that they would always burn out by the time the end of the season came. Hopefully that doesn't happen at Manchester United, and hopefully he will utilise his squad as he said. But overall, you've got to be happy at that one today. We now head to Wayne Rooney's testimonial, is the next match we've got before the Charity Shield against Leicester, and then the season kicks off away to Bournemouth. Do you think that starting 11 will be the starting 11 we play against Bournemouth, or is Pogba going to be in there? Let me know your comments below on the game. Is there anything I missed? Let me know and we'll get into a chat. Drop a like on the video as always, everybody, and we'll see you very, very soon for Rooney's game.